Top
Top
of
of mind.
mind.
Hey, we want to get to you. Married to Medicine, season 11, episode 14.
All
It
right.
aired yesterday.
Yeah, let's
And,
get into it.
and to be honest, I didn't think it was the best episode.
All right. Well, yeah, because there was a lot of talking, a lot of trying to mend the fences type of thing.
Yeah, it was a lot of talking, not enough action, I think. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Not enough drama.
Yeah, I needed a little bit more drama, I think. But so the first scene, you have Simone and Jackie. They
Yeah.
said Phaedra did give them the $40,000 for the Med Gala.
Phaedra got that money though. She ain't playing. She a woman of her word. She like, hey, if this gala don't sell out or we don't make that top dollar, I will pay out my pocket the extra 40 G's.
And it's nothing.
It's nothing. And she did it without even sweating.
No, she said she do not write checks that will not go through in cash. So you go, girl. I ain't mad at her
Do
for
you
that.
think? Do you think?
So they made their $100,000 promise for the Met Gala. Next, they talk about how Phaedra is separating from the group because she thinks they're mean girls. She thinks that the invitation to Apollo was too much for her.
But I thought that Phaedra was a mean girl on the other show she was on.
Phaedra is a mean girl.
So if she's a mean girl and they're meaner than her,
They're meaner than her, so she ain't playing with the mean
wow.
girls. Yeah, Phaedra's a mean girl too. She
That's
just
crazy.
she just do it in her as she say Southern Belle type of way. But yeah, she's a mean girl too.
That's crazy.
I think so. So apparently, so when Phaedra brought Apollo to New York, she said that was it was more of a controlled setting, and it was, I don't know. She kind of felt like she was more in charge of the situation.
Yeah.
This, she felt like she was blindsided almost.
Yeah.
I don't know why she felt blindsided because Heavenly did tell her. And we saw two different scenes.
Yeah, she got the okay. She was like, yeah, okay. Can we invite your husband? Yeah, invite him. I'm like, okay. So invite your the ex-husband, not her husband, the ex-husband. So she she told Heavenly, Phaedra told Heavenly it was okay for her to invite her ex-husband to their shindig.
But this is the thing. Now, the producers showed us two different clips. One Sunday, they showed us a clip where Phaedra was like, okay, I guess. And you
Yeah.
could clearly see that she did not want Apollo there. Then
Yeah.
last week, they showed us, well, this week, they showed us a scene where she was just like, okay, well, that's fine. So I don't know. You know, the producers, they clip the scenes and cut them. And
Yeah.
yeah, so you never know.
You never know.
Mm-hmm. And hey, Brayden, thanks for joining.
Appreciate it.
So next, let's see. Simone and Jackie are blaming Phaedra for the drama
Yeah.
because she brought Shaq. Now, apparently, Apollo gets angry every time he sees her with another man. So they're saying, why would she bring Shaq?
Yeah, Shaq knew who Apollo was, which is Phaedra's ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
They already knew each other. Ain't nobody else know it. They met each other at they go to the same clubs or whatever. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, but we kind of differ. You know, he kind of feels like, well, why did Phaedra bring Shaq?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's her ex-husband, Apollo. He's married to a whole nother woman. They've been divorced for 7 years. She can bring Shaq if she wants to.
She could bring whoever she wants to. She a grown woman.
Mm-hmm. And I think Apollo's trying to act like she's his property.
Right, but Apollo brought his. Is that his wife?
Shireen, that's his wife, but she was also the mistress when he was married to Phaedra when they were pregnant with their second child.
Oh.
So it's going to be a problem, but
The plot thickens.
it does. It does. Okay, so then they talk about the charges between Dr. G and King and how can they move forward since King can't come around the group anymore because Dr. G has filed charges against him. And
Dr. G said, look, this man rushed me. He rushed me.
but this is the thing, he did rush him, okay? He did rush
But he
him.
ain't touch him though.
He didn't touch him.
He
This
just
was
rushed, charged at him. He lunged at him, but Dr. G had it coming though.
this he did. He should never poke the bear. And this, I mean, come on now. We know that King can beat Dr. G. I mean,
King, what, like 30, 40?
he got to be at least 20
So
years
so
younger
that
than Dr.
means Dr.
G.
G got to be, I don't know, what, late 60s?
Well, I don't know if he that old.
Mid
I
60s?
don't know if he that old.
50s? He
He
50?
definitely in his 50s for sure.
In his
I
50s.
would give him mid
I
to
ain't
late
gonna do you
50s
like
for
that, Dr. G.
sure.
I ain't gonna do you like that.
Don't do him like that.
Don't do him like that. I ain't gonna do you like that, Dr. G.
And then they started talking about his son, Baby Child.
Baby child.
He said, what did he say? Set me free.
Set me free.
I don't want, wait, I got a new wife now. I got a new life now.
It's a classic. It's a classic.
I love me some Baby Child.
Yeah. Y'all need to check that one out. Check that song out. It will have you rolling.
All right, so next we have Contessa and Heavenly. They meet up to discuss where the break in their friendship started. But I mean, I could tell them where the break started. It started with Heavenly going on her podcast and talking about Contessa's and Scott's relationship, and she still doesn't think anything is wrong with it. And there's absolutely something wrong with it. Even if Contessa was talking about her relationship with Scott, guess what? She can, because that's her relationship with her husband.
Yeah, that's her husband. Don't talk about somebody else's relationship and don't think that somebody not gonna clap back at you. You know, you gotta be careful what you say about other people's relationship, because they gonna talk about you. You know, that's just how it is. That's how the world turns.
And that's the problem with Heavenly. I'm sorry, she feels she can say whatever she want to say about somebody else's relationship, but if someone says something about her relationship, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
That's a problem for me. So, moving along, we're still in the same scene.
Yeah.
So they agree to move forward and get to know each other again, have a fresh start. Contessa is going to do a local health fair for the American Diabetes Association, and she wants to invite everyone. Now, everyone means Sweet Tea, Dr. G, Quad, and King. Heavenly, for once, I agree with Heavenly.
Yeah, but everybody in this group don't get along, so she trying to be kumbaya with people and trying to mend fences, and ain't a good look.
So she thinks that because the cause is bigger than their issues, the diabetes, because it's such a great cause, she thinks everyone should put aside their issues, but that's just not how the world works. It's just not gonna work. And so I agree with Heavenly.
Yeah. I mean, it's like my wife said, it is a good cause. And also, they're showing people how to pay their bills and get vaccinated and help out with certain issues, which is a silent killer, diabetes.
It is, and it's very serious. So, make sure you take care of your health. Make sure you get your A1C checked, and just make sure that you get to the doctor and check on your health.
And exercise regularly. And
very important.
Watch what you eat.
That's right. All right, next up in the next scene, we have Eugene and Toya. And they talk about how Eugene got ran over by a flatbed.
Eugene, I don't know what you were doing next to a flatbed, first of all. Well, we know that your family was driving those
golf carts,
which are cool. But when the battery went out, they had to, get it back to the house. And the only way to get back to the house is to get it towed. But you're not the tower.
I don't know why he was so close to the flatbed. Okay, I'm sorry.
What, you trying to show him how to tow the golf cart?
Oh no, Eugene. Okay, we like you over here, Eugene.
Eugene, lead the towing to the people that know how to tow.
Yeah, and you just stand back and let them do their thing. Just like if somebody come into your hospital, they let you do their thing.
Right.
We gonna need you to trust the tow people to get your golf cart back to the house.
Now you don't want me to grab your stethoscope.
Okay. Don't do it. He'll be like, don't do it. So Toya, after they talked about that, Toya begins to tell Eugene about her conversation with Sweet Tea, and Eugene talks about his conversation with Dr. G. So they both think that maybe they should just step away from the group because Sweet Tea is saying that they need to work on their marriage and that the group is affecting their marriage. So they like, you know what? And Eugene pointed out something that I hadn't thought about. He was like, "Why wasn't even our friend last year?"
Ooh,
And
yeah, that's facts. That's
yeah, and we
true.
don't really know King, so he kind of
Yeah,
feels like their support should be more for
yeah,
Dr. G and Sweet Tea, more so for Dr. G because they don't know Sweet Tea,
yeah,
that
yeah.
much either. They just met her last season, but
Right.
you know, yeah. So he's
Mhm.
pretty much thinking they should stick with Dr. G, but they should
Yeah,
take a step back from the group to
yeah.
welcome their marriage.
Yeah, I mean, they need that peace of mind, too much drama every time you see them.
Every time.
Drama? Nah,
Drama.
that's too much. I'd rather stay away from it. I need a clear peace of mind. Go to church.
Ooh, let me tell you, I protect my peace,
Mm-hmm,
okay?
mm-hmm,
I go to
mm-hmm,
church, I
mm-hmm,
pray, I protect my peace. And I'm only around people that brings me good energy
mm-hmm.
and that I can be peaceful around because if you're going to take
Yeah,
me out of my peace, I
yeah,
don't want to be around you.
yeah. You need that peace.
Move,
Everybody need it.
everybody,
Mm-hmm.
moving along.
Moving along.
So, next scene, Quad and King discuss King moving into her home. Well, let me say, Quad discussed King moving into her home.
Yeah.
King said, "Nah,
Yeah,
I ain't
well,
doing that."
guys ain't trying to move into their girlfriend's house, right? Because it's their house.
Mm-hmm.
King was saying, I'd rather find a house together and we could both live in it together. But Quiet had a relationship with Dr. G, and he was throwing, this is my house and
And I
I live
live
here
here. We
every,
sing over here, okay?
every second he could. So Quad was like, I'm not going down that route again. I'm gonna have
Mm-hmm.
this house. You stay here if you want to, and if you don't want me, then don't talk to me.
If you don't want me, then don't talk to
Go
me.
ahead and free yourself.
Go ahead and free yourself.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
I love me some Tasia.
hmm, hmm.
But so yeah, what I have to say about that is
Yeah,
I agree with King. They should both sell their
yeah,
homes and move into something together that's both of theirs.
yeah,
I think Quad wants him to move into her home so that she's never in a position where a man can put her out or make her feel as though, that's his home and, he can put her out whenever he feels like it.
hmm,
I understand that, Quad. If you're watching this, I get that. But
yeah.
you have to also consider the man's feelings. It's not just about you. And he
True.
has to feel comfortable. And, let's keep it real. Most men are not going to feel comfortable moving into their
Yeah,
girlfriend's home.
yeah. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. So moving along.
Yeah.
All right. So the next scene, Simone and Cecil, they go to their investment condominium and to
Yeah.
talk to their sons. So their
Yeah.
sons live in their investment condominium.
Yeah.
And they pretty much just said, y'all got to come back home.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they young guys,
Yeah.
they live in a bachelor life, the parents weren't too happy with their living arrangements and gotta come back.
Come on back home. So go back home.
Yeah,
All right. In the next scene, they're doing the local health fair for the American Diabetes Association
yeah,
that Contessa is hosting.
yeah.
And all the castmates, they're coming together for the greater cause. And initially, they're all working well together.
Initially, that's how it started.
That's how it started. But guess who wasn't there yet? Dr. G and Sweet Tea.
Dr. G.
Yeah, and not to say that, because let me be clear, Quad is just as complicit in the drama, but she was there without King, so everybody else right now is getting along pretty well, so it started out well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's true.
In the next scene, the fellas get together and toss around a football. I'm so sorry, I do not remember Dr. Mimi's husband's name at the moment, but Dr. Mimi's husband was working with Contessa and Scott's son,
Yeah,
teaching him how to play football because he's a retired professional football
yeah,
player.
former football player. Yeah,
Hmm. And of course, they get around to talking about the Dr. G and King situation.
yeah.
And no one is aligning with Dr. G. They all think that filing charges against King is just too much.
Just a low move, First of all, he didn't touch Dr. G.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, Dr. G triggered it. You can't talk your way to another grown man. So,
Mm.
and then how can he touch Dr. G if Dr. G pedaling back as fast as King is rushing at him?
Hey,
You know,
Dr. G can run, okay?
Yeah,
He
he's
can
quick.
run backwards.
He's swift.
Yeah, so he might be an older dude, but he can run. He can run. He can run.
He ain't got them hands. He got them legs.
He got them legs, baby.
Feet don't fail me now.
Woo! I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so in the next scene, Contessa decides, for whatever reason, at her health fair, that it's a good time to try to convince Quad that they should all be a cohesive group.
Yeah.
And Quad said, how we gonna be a cohesive group when King can't come around?
Right.
And so, so they get to talking about it. Of course, Heavenly loved her some Dr. Jackie, and she loved her some Quad. Yeah. And so instead of her just letting the ladies, Dr. Contessa and Quad talk and have a conversation, Heavenly got to get involved, and she got to get loud.
She got to get loud and louder and louder and louder, and then put the hands in the face and all that stuff.
She's always doing too much. And the thing is, this is what she warned Contessa about would happen. And now I realize she was really giving Contessa a heads up that this is what I'm going to do. If you bring everybody together, I'm going to be the problem at the affair. Because it wasn't anybody else. It was Heavenly. Contessa didn't even put Quiet out of her event. She put Heavenly out of her event.
She put Heavenly.
Yeah, Heavenly had to go. Yeah, she was like, you can go now.
Toodle along.
Yeah, toodles. So, they talked about how King can't come around, and Heavenly got loud, and she does not know how to conduct herself as an adult, and so when Quad hears that Sweet Tea and Dr. G will be arriving soon, she starts to get ready to leave right along with Heavenly. So in the next scene, the fellas continue to talk.
And then before she left, she was like, and get you some help.
That was Heavenly. That was Heavenly.
Heavenly said, get some help. Because
Contessa, get some help.
Contessa, get some help.
Oh my goodness. She irks my spirit. Now that's somebody who I would not have in my space because I can't, her energy and she could not be in my space. I wouldn't give her my energy. In the next scene, the fellas continue to talk about, of course, the situation, because they talked about that the whole entire.
It's the hottest thing in the streets right now.
Yes, the whole show. So it was a little boring to me, if I could be honest. Yeah. But the fellas continue to talk, and Dr. Mimi's husband said that he talked to King, and King said he's ready to move forward. And they want to see if Dr. G would be on the same page.
He probably won't, though.
So in the next scene, we have Dr. G and Sweet Tea arriving, and they get to talking about how awkward it is being around the group now. And I don't understand what the awkwardness is. I'm going to be honest, because is it because you ran backwards? Because these are your friends, not Sweet Tea's, but these are Dr. G's friends.
Well, yeah, it's awkward because none of the guys backing them up. They said, you shouldn't have did that. That was the wrong move to do.
That's true.
Could have handled a different situation. You ain't had to call the cops on the man.
That's true. He doesn't have their support. Now,
so
you're
it's a
right.
restraining order, I guess, right?
You're right. Well, no, it's not a restraining order. No. He's filing, I think it's attempted battery. No, because it's not battery.
Right.
He didn't touch him. It's like me doing this to my husband's arm. You see how I'm not touching him? I'm not touching him.
You're not touching me.
And then he say, I'm going to file charges on you for attempted battery because I'm not touching. It wouldn't be battery unless I touch him. You see how I'm touching him now? This is battery.
I don't even think if you can you call that assault? You can't even call it assault.
Assault, this ain't number love right here. So I think he's in attempted battery. So I didn't know that was a charge, but he said he can get 90 days in jail, which that is no joke. Yeah. That is no joke.
I mean, I doubt he's gonna get 90 days because I'm pretty sure that King has a lawyer as well. So
that's true, but he doesn't even deserve 1 day in jail, 1 hour, because the first day Quad started it. The second day Dr. G continued it. And so Dr. G poked the bear, and then when he got the reaction that he wanted, now he's crying wolf basically and trying to, this is what I truly think. I think he really just wants to keep King off the show.
Yeah.
and away from the group.
Yeah.
And so
Because
this is his way of doing it.
yeah, because he with his ex-wife.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
think that's what they did.
Exactly
This
what it is.
battery, y'all. This battery.
Battery, assault and battery.
So, all right. So, Contessa tells Sweet Tea that she wants her to feel safe in the group.
Yes.
And Sweet Tea confesses that she does not always feel safe, emotionally and mentally safe in this group. And I mean, who does? It's reality television. You're just not going to.
Yeah, yeah. So who said they don't feel safe?
Sweet Tea.
Sweet Tea
Yeah.
don't feel safe.
Emotionally and mentally. Now, physically, she can take care of herself. She was
Yeah, I
in the
just about to
service.
say, yeah, she could take care of herself.
No, she said mentally and emotionally.
No, okay.
And that's only because Contessa told her, I want you to feel safe.
No.
And she's letting her know mentally and emotionally, I do not always feel safe in this group. Now, she didn't say nothing about physically because physically, Sweet Tea got them all.
Yeah, she got them hands.
She got them hands. Heavenly better leave her alone.
Yeah, put them paws on you.
Heavenly, don't do it. You see what happened with Dr. G and King. Don't do it because you know you're going to be running back, but you keep saying you can't fight. You better leave that girl alone. That woman alone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yes. And I don't advocate for violence. I'm just saying this is what happens on reality shows.
That's true.
All right. So next, the fellas take Dr. G outside to talk about the charges against King and how they can move forward. But Greg like, I ain't moving forward. Greg like, we gonna stay right here.
I'm staying right here. I'm at the stop sign. No green.
He said, so the fella said, we feel like we're in a position where we have to choose a side, which is the name of this episode was choosing sides. And he said, it ain't my fault.
It ain't my fault.
It ain't my fault. You gotta choose a side. So he feels like, hey, they don't have his back.
Yeah.
He feel like they should have his back, but he's standing 10 toes down on he's not going to accept disrespect from King. And let's be honest, he started with King being disrespectful. It's as far as telling King that I disrespected your woman, and that was wrong.
Yeah, true.
And so, but Dr. Mimi's husband, apologies, I don't remember your name, but he did say what I think it is. He said he really thinks that it's Dr. G's ego and pride at this point that's starting to get involved. And he thinks that's why he won't drop the charges.
And that's all it is. When your pride get involved with it, your woman seeing you treading backwards, so this is your way to lunge back, lion versus lion type of way.
Well, he said it was going to be a fight to the death.
To the death.
That's what he said last episode.
It wasn't. It wasn't no fight at all. Nobody was fighting.
He mean he gonna run till he get tired. But anyway, we gonna leave Dr. G alone. Because at the end of the day, like I said in the last episode, we all know that King could beat him. It's not a win for King, to fight him and beat him. He's 20 years younger than him. But I just need Dr. G to know that. So don't poke the bear.
Yeah, Dr. G probably want to chill, man.
Yeah. And so Contessa, she talked about how they fix their own problems in this group. They do not have police involvement. And so she feels like, it's just too much. Yeah. She wants Dr. G to drop the charges. Mm-hmm. But after her conversation with Sweet Tea, she feels like Sweet Tea doesn't see the value in being a part of the group. And so she feels like if she doesn't see the value, then maybe she shouldn't be a part of the group.
Yeah, the group don't make her.
I don't think the group makes her. I'm sorry.
Make me no, never mind.
No. And the ladies, I mean, how often do we see them doing positive things in the community? We don't. Yeah. I would say we see it 5% of the time. 95% of the time is drama with the ladies yelling at each other. And now the men are starting to get involved in it. Yeah. They used to stay out of it. Yeah. Now the men are getting involved. But we see them doing good in the community about 5% of the time. So I don't see the value in the group. So Sweet Tea, I'm team Sweet Tea.
Sweet Tea need to stay out of it a little bit,
If you feel like you need to go to protect your peace, please do that and protect your marriage.
She's trying to get pregnant. She's trying to get a child with Dr. G.
That's right. And it's hard to get pregnant under
When you
these
stress. Yeah,
conditions.
yeah, don't be stressed.
Yeah, so you do what you think is best for you and your marriage. I'm rooting
Hmm.
for you over here. And we like Dr. G over
Yeah,
here.
Dr. G cool.
We like Dr. G. Now, what we don't like, now let me be clear, is we don't like the way Dr. G talks to
Mm,
Sweet Tea.
yeah,
Now, that there, the way he talks to her, we do
yeah,
not agree with, we do not approve of.
yeah,
And, for that reason, if Sweet Tea decides to walk away from her marriage for that reason, I support you, Sweet Tea,
yeah.
because you do not deserve to be talked to like a child. You a grown woman.
That's true.
And so,
Know your worth.
and he's very abusive in the way he talks to you.
Mm,
So that I do have a problem with Dr. G. I want to make that
yeah,
very clear.
yeah,
You know, outside of the way he talks to her,
yeah,
then yeah, then we think he's a funny guy. I say that outside of the way he talks to her.
yeah,
So let's see next. So the guys feel that they will have to disconnect from him if he does not drop the charges,
yeah,
and it looks like he's not gonna drop the charges. So
yeah.
this may be the end of Dr. G hanging out with the fellas.
Yeah, it might be, they trying to come to closure with this whole situation between Dr. G and King,
Yep.
but Dr. G don't want to let it go, and the guys don't want to be involved with that because Heavenly Husband says he know King. Him and King cool.
Now that was a shock because it was like Dr. Damon, me and King are cool. I think he's a good guy. Okay, so that's my Dr. David
Yeah,
impression. Dr.
yeah,
David, you just met that man.
yeah,
So the only reason why you're really being so supportive of King is because you
yeah,
and Dr. G
yeah,
has had some issues as of lately.
yeah,
But
true.
the issues go back to who? Your wife.
Yeah, yeah.
You and
So,
Dr. G would not be having an issue if Dr. Heavenly
yeah,
had not disrespected that man's Dr. G's reputation, his professional reputation.
yeah. Yep. So, on that note, so we're going to give you an update on the show that we're going to see tonight.
Oh,
But
Married at First
but
Sight.
we won't air tomorrow. We will air on Thursday,
That's right.
okay? So
That's
just
right.
stay tuned. Probably around 7ish. So to all my friends out there, stay true to yourself.
Give you just do to yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Remember to like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you can always be notified of our next video and when we go live.
And when we go live. Till next time, friends.
Until next time, friends.